Hi guys, welcome to Coffee Catch Up with Bella. Even though today I don't have a coffee, kind of ironic that my first video is filmed without a coffee. I'm just drinking water today because I already had my coffee this morning and I forgot to film it. So, we're going with water. This is going to be a reminder to take a breath, just calm down for a second. If you've been feeling stressed or burnt out, it's okay, because you're not alone, and we're gonna have a little talk about it. We're gonna have a little chat together, okay? So just breathe, relax, get yourself a little drink, and let's catch up. Welcome to the first ever video of Coffee Catch Ups with Bella. I am so glad that you are here and ready for a nice little girl chat. So, my name's Bella, and I have been doing content creation for a couple months now, probably around like 3 months. So I'm very new at this, and I kind of just want this to be a get to know me episode, and we're just going to talk about stress and burnout because, guys, I'm in the same boat as you guys who clicked on this video right now. So we're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna share my best tips and my best advice for dealing with stress, especially as a teenager going through high school and all of the crazy things that happen when you're young. It's gonna be a fun time. But first, I kind of want you guys to get to know me a little bit. So, my name's Bella. I'm 17. I'm still in high school. This is my last year. I have been doing content creation for around 3 months now. So, you can go follow me on Instagram at Building with Bella, where I post a lot about wellness, faith, recipes, food, all that kind of fun stuff. I've had a podcast for pretty much half a year. And so, you guys can go check out that at Building with Bella Podcast Edition. I'll link both of these things in the description if you want to check me out a little bit more. And I have a huge passion for content creation and health and wellness and just helping people achieve their goals, helping people achieve their dreams through wellness and faith and longevity. So that's kind of what I'm about. And this channel, I'm just hoping that we can get a little bit more cozy, get a little bit more comfortable, and just have some little one-on-one chats about mindset, about life. We're a little bit more realistic here. So I'm so excited to bring this channel to you guys, and I'm so glad that you found me. So let's get into the main topic of the video now that you know a little bit about me: stress and burnout as a teen. Okay. So when we are teenagers, I feel like there is a lot of unspoken pressure from family, from friends, from ourselves, from teachers, peers, everybody. And there's a lot to do. When you're in high school, I know lots of people who are really hustling right now and are very stressed and are kind of sad, and they don't really know where they're going, what they're doing, how to do it. So there's a lot going on for teens, seriously. I feel like I have a huge say in talking about this because as someone who manages their own social media, has a podcast, has a YouTube channel now, and meal preps, works out 6 times a week, works 2 part-time jobs, I have all the right to talk about burnout and stress. But I also have learned how to manage it very, very well. I find that when you're burnt out, it is just so difficult to get yourself out of it because you feel like you're just in such a deep, dark hole and everything sucks and everything is sad and you're just kind of living on autopilot because your energy is so low. We're going to get you out of that today, okay? If you're feeling that, say goodbye to it because by the end of this video, it's going to be gone. You're not going to have it anymore. You're not going to be worrying about it anymore, okay? The first thing I really want to talk about for burnout, especially, is it's not about the quantity of things you have on your plate. And I feel like we get really beaten up and we get really down about like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I'm so busy all the time. I have no time to do this, blah, 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 blah. But it is not about the quantity of things with burnout. And that is what I have learned as more things have been on my plate recently, but I'm not burnt out. It's not about the quantity of stuff that you're doing. So I want you to just take that idea. If you have a lot going on, if you have a lot of stuff going on right now, the burnout is not coming from all of the things. It's coming from the quality of the things. When I'm at work and I'm feeling tired and then all of a sudden I stop caring about the quality of my work that I'm producing, that's when I get burnt out. Or when I'm at my job and I have to deal with a customer and my energy is low and I'm just not as passionate about it, that's when I get burnout. It's not from the quantity, it is always from the quality of the things that you're doing. And this is a very good judgment of where your energy is actually going, because if you have a ton on your plate and you don't like any of it, and you feel like you suck at all of it, and you feel like you hate it, you don't want to pour any energy or any effort into it, you're never gonna progress in that. You're never gonna get better, and you're constantly in this loop of redoing what you already did because it was bad the first time. So I think it's really important to realize, like, okay, what are you actually doing right now? And how much energy are you actually putting into this thing? Because if it's a hobby or something that you can maybe eliminate for just a little bit, I really recommend doing that and just putting your energy elsewhere. And I will say, rest time is so important, you guys, okay? Like, resting when you're a teenager is important, and I know with all of this crazy hustle culture and all of this, like, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. I'm only gonna, like, I'll sleep when I make my first $1 million. No. Okay. The people who say this, they sleep. A little hypocritical, if I don't say so myself. But that is just complete BS, and I really hope you guys don't listen to that kind of content because it is not helpful. And do you want to know what is helpful? Getting a good night's sleep and actually resting so you feel rested in the morning and you wake up and you're rejuvenated and you're happy and you're feeling good. That is what we want. Rest allows you to do all the other crap that you have to do in a day. So make sure that you're scheduling time for your rest. I literally schedule time. I'm like, okay, past 5 o'clock, absolutely no work. Social media's going off. I'm not worrying about any other thing. I'm not responding to anybody. I'm chilling. I'm gonna do a drawing. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna watch some TV. Whatever. Okay? So literally schedule time for your rest. And I feel like this is so important because when you're burnt out, you're also usually not in the happiest, most bubbly state. And oftentimes we find ourselves just reaching for cheap dopamine, so we all know what that is by now, our phones and everything. So when you also do that, you're also getting more burnt out because endless scrolling, all of these mindless activities, they don't make you feel good, they hurt your self-esteem, and they actually do physically hurt your brain. So it's really important to have scheduled time for when you can look at your phone and then monitor what you're doing on your phone in that time, or just try to leave it in a different room as you and try to just not look at it all the time. That's what I find really helps me when I'm burnt out, because when I'm looking at my phone and when I'm just scrolling mindlessly and trying to find validation through people and through like watching content, I always come out of it feeling worse, and then just the quality of everything just goes down again. You should always be doing something that you're passionate about. So even if it's not your job right now, it doesn't have to be your job. You don't have to love going to school. But all I'm saying is it's really important to find something that actually like really lights up your soul, really like gets you happy for the day. So this can be a hobby. So I find whenever I'm burnt out, it's just because I've been grinding a lot. And trust me, I love content creation and everything, but that doesn't mean I don't need a break from it. So I find that when I take a break and I'm not just kind of like mindlessly watching TV, I'm actually like aligning with my hobbies, right? So I love to draw. I love to sketch. I love to write poetry and write stories. And when I'm actually like, okay, you know what? Today, after your work, after you're done doing all your things, we're gonna take a little break and we're gonna do a sketch. We're gonna do a drawing. We're gonna write some poetry. We're gonna listen to some music. And then it literally gets me excited. So having something to look forward to at the end of your day can help you kind of pull yourself out of that autopilot state of mind and switch things up, and it feels really refreshing to do something that you haven't been doing lately. And it can literally, you don't even have to leave your house, you don't have to spend any money, you just have to pick up a book and read, or you just have to draw, or whatever it is that you guys have going on, or whatever hobby that you like. I used to really like doing like clay sculptures and stuff, so it could literally be anything. Just schedule, it could literally be like 45 minutes. Just schedule that in your, just put it in your calendar and be like, at this time I'm putting my phone away, I'm putting everything away, and I'm just doing that. So that is one of my biggest tips, and it just really helps me get out of that mindset, because I feel like when you're burnt out, you're also like, you're living, like I said before, you're kind of living on autopilot just because you're so tired and your brain just doesn't want to do anything, and you're just done. So you just keep living the same day over and over and over, and then you're just trapped in this loop, and it feels horrible. And that's kind of what I was feeling like last week, because I was just constantly comparing myself and getting tired, and I kept picking up my phone. My screen time was literally like 3 hours a day. It was terrible. And it just like, I realized that I was stuck in this loop, and it was so hard for me to get out. Today has been like the first day that I've actually been feeling pretty level and pretty good about myself again, and about my work, and I can feel my confidence kind of coming back a little bit. But last week was really difficult for me, and I went through a lot of very harsh, intense emotions, and they were mainly stress and burnout. So that's why I'm making this video today, to help any of you who are feeling the same. And I will say, for one last thing for burnout, is that making sure that you're not complaining is a huge one. And I know this sounds kind of like weird, but when I complain, or when I just kind of get in this really negative mindset about myself and about my work and about my life, it really makes me feel even worse. So if you are already burnt out, maybe your classes are really hard right now, and you have to come home and you have to study like 3 hours after school. Or maybe you're just so burnt out because you're really stressed out and you're really anxious, and you keep reaching for your phone even though you know that it's bad for you, and you just feel terrible, and you're guilty, and now you're ashamed of yourself. And now you're saying all these really negative, mean things about yourself, but your patterns aren't changing. That gets really dangerous. And I think just being able to tell yourself, like, hey, you know what, I'm realizing we're a little bit anxious right now. Like, the day has been a little bit rough. I'm tired, and this is a lot for me, and then figuring out ways how to help yourself through that, instead of just immediately jabbing at yourself and jabbing at your habits. And it's good to be aware of what you're doing, but it's also good to realize, like, it's not the end of the world, and you can still make up the day, and you can still redeem yourself and get everything back to normal, and like, it's just temporary, everything's going to be fine. I feel like when my brain is really tired, all the logical solutions to everything just kind of like go out the window a little bit. So it's really important to like bring yourself back, and just be nice to yourself, be kind, and be like, hey, I've noticed you're stressed. It makes total sense why you've been reaching for your phone. It makes total sense why you've been feeling really self-conscious lately. Maybe you've been doubting yourself. That makes total sense, but we can't stay like this forever. We need to change something, and we need to make sure we're talking a little bit nicer to ourselves. Maybe you turn off your phone, or you turn your Wi-Fi off, so you just can't really do what you would normally do. And that's just like, that has helped me so much, and it's helped build my confidence and self-trust in myself, because now whenever I'm burnt out, my first reaction isn't to be like, I hate you, oh my gosh, like, why are you so tired, like, you're so lazy. Like, no, it's like, okay, we have been doing a lot recently, I get why you're burnt out, maybe let's take a bath, let's do an extra self-care night tonight, let's spend some quality time with my family to like help get my energy up. It's not all of a sudden like pinning yourself into a little hole and cornering yourself and being super mean to yourself and beating yourself up, because I think sometimes we think that's productive because we're trying to act like we know better, and then we have every right to be mean to ourselves, but that's not true. And I really hope you guys realize that and understand that doing that is not going to make you feel better, and it's not going to change the fact that, maybe you're still endlessly reaching for your phone and wasting a lot of time. And just because you're acting like you know that you should be doing better doesn't mean you're going to do better. And I found that the only time that I was really able to pull myself out was when I was being kind to myself, because that's when my body was actually able to like reconfigure and like feel safe and then move on. So for the stress portion, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna break down the stress thing. Exams, school, family, friends, hobbies, entertainment, self-care time, side hustles, part-time jobs. Everything starts happening when you're in high school. All of these wonderful but very stressful, crazy things start popping into our lives, and then all of a sudden, we are stacked up to here and we don't know what to do. Friends are sad because we haven't been reaching out. You're not spending as much time with your family. You're always worried about exams. Girl, I get it. I get you. I feel you, okay? Seriously, high school can be a very brutal time. And so, as someone who used to feel this way all the time and feel like I was never doing enough, like I was never spending enough time with my family, I was never spending enough time with my friends, there just wasn't enough hours in a day. Here are my best tips for managing stress as a high school student and feeling actually okay and comfortable in life again. But pause. I want you guys to take a sip of your drink. I want you to just like take a breath, release any tension that you have. Just let yourself relax. Unclench your back, unclench your stomach, unclench your jaw. Just take a little sip of your drink, because remember, we're relaxing. We're having a nice little chat. You don't need to be anywhere else right now. You're just listening to me talk. We're just having a little chat. Okay. So, the first thing that has really helped me manage a stressful, busy lifestyle is planning and preparing. So, I feel like with stress, it's super easy to let it consume you, and then you constantly feel like you have to rush around. You constantly feel like you have to get everything done in one day. And it just feels like everything around you is kind of falling apart. And just planning everything in chunks instead of looking at everything as like one big thing made the world of a difference for me, guys. Like, seriously. I have a whiteboard on my window. I'm looking at it right now, and it has my daily goals, and then it has my daily planner, and then it has a section for notes where I can just like write reminder at like 9 a.m. you have to be here or whatever. So, and I just keep it on my window, and then every night I erase it all, and then I just rewrite everything that I need to do for the next day. So then when I wake up, if I'm feeling a little flustered, if I'm feeling a little sad, if I'm feeling a little whatever, I still like remember what my priorities are, and I can still like chip away at them slowly, and it makes it so much better. Because I feel like when we get stressed, or at least when I get stressed, I get really overstimulated, and overstimulation to me is like the worst feeling out of anything. And I can't think straight. I'm fuzzy. I got brain fog, and I don't really get that a lot anymore since I've started actually taking it serious and planning out my days and knowing what my priorities are, and knowing, okay, at like 12 p.m., this is what I have to be doing until 1. At 1 p.m., this is what I have to be doing until this. And it just makes everything flow so much nicer, and it makes everything so much easier. And it's just like, it just takes away the stress and the mental load of having to actually like think, this is what I have to do, because you already know what you have to do. It's already there for you. And so I know it doesn't sound like much, but when you're stressed, even the little things should be taken out of the way for you. So for me as a teen, this also links into meal planning, and some people might get scared when they hear the word meal planning, okay? And I feel you, but I used to not eat lunch at school because I didn't have time to make anything in the morning, and I didn't want to worry about it. I was rushing around, like I just did not have time to make myself lunch. But then I would go to school, and then around lunchtime, everyone would be eating, and I had nothing to eat, and then I would get even more stressed out, and then I would be even more upset, and then my stomach would hurt, and I wouldn't be able to think properly. And then I would come home and I would eat a giant meal right before dinner time. So that really messed up my eating schedule for a while as well. So there was just a lot of stuff going on that probably was not very good for me. And one way I eliminated that was by meal prepping. So every single Sunday, I make my meals for the week, and it just takes so much stress off my back. It helps me financially, so I don't have to buy lunch. It helps me with my health goals because then I'm not relying on fast food places. I'm not relying on easy, quick meals. I'm relying on the food that I made on Sunday, which is healthy, high protein, whole foods, is everything that I focus on. And I know if you're already stressed and you're already busy, you're probably like, Bella, what are you talking about? Like, where am I going to find the time to meal prep? And I really want you guys to understand that this doesn't have to take very long. Meal prepping does not have to take very long. I know that like everybody's like glorifies these like crazy amounts of food every week and it takes like 3 hours. My meal prep literally takes me like an hour or like an hour and 30 minutes. So it is definitely a sacrifice, and I'm not trying to give you guys easy, quick fixes. I'm trying to give you guys long-term solutions to real life problems like having stress, because nobody wants to be stressed, especially in high school. This is such a fun, beautiful time in our lives, and it's really important to just have a foundation and have a routine that you can rely on, and this takes a lot of time to create. So I'm not here to give you guys unrealistic advice. I'm here to give you guys realistic advice that has actually completely changed my life, and meal prepping is one of those things that eliminates stress for me throughout the entire week, because then in the morning, all I do is pop my lunch into my lunch kit, and it's literally so satisfying knowing that I'm just covered for the rest of the week, and I can make it really fun. It's so fun to meal prep. Like, you can literally do so many things. And if you guys need a little bit of meal inspiration, I do have some stuff on my Instagram at Building with Bella, so make sure you go follow that after you watch this video. And yeah, I would say another thing that really helps with stress is resetting. Sunday is also my kind of like high maintenance reset day, where I literally just put everything else aside. It's the one day that I don't really work, and I wash my bedding. I do my hair oil to make it all silky and smooth. I like just maintain my body. I clean myself up fully. That can like be whatever you guys want or however you want. You can almost make it like a spa day. You could do a face mask, you can moisturize, you could shave, you could do whatever. And I meal prep and I just take care of myself. And that day is just fully meant for me, nourishing myself and resetting. And it doesn't mean, like, if you guys are super busy and you need to be doing homework, like, all the time, it doesn't mean that you're putting off priorities. It just means that day you're putting yourself first a little bit more, and you're allowing yourself to just, like, breathe and reset. And I found that when I would go from Sunday to Monday in, like, this just frantic rush, nothing was prepared, I was setting myself up for failure. And I wasn't giving myself the best shot, because I think it's really important to cleanse the energy of your space and prepare for a new week. So because last week was a little bit more negative for me for a bunch of different reasons, I was like, okay, like I need to clean, like deep clean my room. I need to clean all my bedding and my laundry, and I just need to get that energy out of my space. I need to get that energy out of me. And then when you do that, it makes a huge difference. And I feel so much better now, and I feel so much more just confident and awake and alive this week because I did the maintenance yesterday. So having a kind of reset routine that you can do every week or as many times as you need is so important, and it doesn't have to be a long time. It can take all day if you want it to, but it doesn't have to. It can be half a day, it can be an hour, it can be 30 minutes, it doesn't matter. And my last tip for you guys for managing stress would be time blocking. So time blocking is really important, especially as a teenager when you have a bunch of stuff. It kind of goes in with the whole planning thing, but it's more of like, okay, how am I going to get this done in this period of time? Because I know as a high school student, cramming and like studying super hard for like half an hour before a test is very common for a lot of people, and it's very common to like put really important things off until the last minute, and that causes a lot of stress. So I have avoided that by learning how to time block properly. And this has also just helped me with deep work, and it helps me feel more in control, more focused, more calm, because you're only focusing on one thing at a time and you're taking it slow. And I like to set a timer, learning how to just be like, okay, for an hour, I'm going to study for this, and then I'm going to take a 10-minute break, and then I'm going to go to this. So it's not all flowing at once, and you can actually like breathe in between the tasks that you have to do. So I just find that really, really helpful, and just learning how to take care of myself that way and then learn what my capacity is and take little breaks in between that so I can refresh and then come back to a new task. We are now at the end of this video. I really hope you guys learned something. I hope you were able to take something away from this, and stress and burnout shouldn't be normal, but I think as a teen, learning how to manage that will literally help you throughout your entire life. So I just really hope that you guys were able to take away some really good tips from this video. And I hope you enjoyed the first ever video for Coffee Catch Up with Bella. And next time I will have an actual coffee with me, so it won't be so ironic next time. But yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you for staying till the end of the video. If you did, comment down below a pink heart emoji if you stayed this far. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next time. I love you all so much. Bye!